wanted to see that PF is removed.
Who is a cadre?
The cadre, I believe, is a word from English.
Cadre is a muntu wovuda.
Mulodi umusata dom barepta na macheni.
Olotu wadi na makada mu market twali chulire.
Olota pali walala mwina amapanga bali kwesa pamusevu.
Makada panali be mutendere.
Cadres became more powerful than leaders. I was putting in a bonnet.
Uyo. I said, how are you cadres here? They said, no, madam, here we have no cadres.
There are cadres in football. There are cadres in church.
I have always condemned youth violence because it is not right.
Muntu ngapita muno nafwale chakashika nangu tapalembelwe UPND nishiwe wacheneka nangu nimfayobe.
Welcome to another episode of Politics Aside. I'm Charlie the engineer, and today we tackle a critical issue that has plagued our nation for far too long. Cadreism. First of all, I would like us to understand, who is a cadre?
The cadre, I believe, is a word from English. It's an English word. It has been corrupted. When you say cadre, people think you are talking violence, you are talking of politics, you are talking... A cadre is a group of people that have a belief in the same thing. That's a cadre. What makes political cadre so strong is that because there are so many people believing in one political party, one vision, or whatever the policy principle.
Cadre is a word which has been misused, especially in the political arena. Cadre is associated with bad things, not a good thing. A cadre who only sing and praise for anything. A cadre who is able to fight for a certain leader, for him or for her to survive, to have put food on the table. But in other way, a cadre is somebody who believes in a cause. There are cadres in football, there are cadres in church, there are cadres also in governance. In governance, we talk about now all political parties. There are cadres in a civil society organization. You believe in something, then you are a follower, pursuing it, and spread the news, the information to each and everybody to believe in what you are doing. So you recruit in that way. You put first discipline. A cadre who is disciplined, a cadre who is focused, a cadre who is fighting for a good cause for the nation, or a cadre who is fighting for a good cause for his community. So, but today in Zambian politics, a cadre is a bad thing.
The same description now is applied. That is why people don't like hearing the word cadre. Not because it has a bad meaning, because of the perception that when you are a cadre, you believe in violence, you believe in denying people opportunities, it's just about you. When in actual fact, a cadre of young people in a political party should carry the vision of the party.
Yeah. I want us to specifically look at the misplaced category of a cadre.
The youth have allowed themselves to be used as instruments of violence. For me, is unacceptable. I have always condemned youth violence because it is not right.
Yeah.
Wrong is wrong no matter who does it. And I don't care whether which party they belong to. If they get involved in acts of violence, then I condemn them for getting involved in violence, because violence is not acceptable. It retards development, it hinders progress, it hurts, kills people in the process, and that's not what I fought for. During the struggle, I did not fight for that. I fought for people's well-being so that we can, as a country, grow, become progressive, and continue to be one Zambia, one nation.
The previous ruling party, the Patriotic Front, was once a powerful force in Zambian politics. However, their reign was made by the rise of cadreism, a form of hooliganism that spread fear across our public spaces.
Olo twali na bakada mu market twalichulire. Ukuchule kwa chini. Namubona papene twikeri hapa. Twalelipira 200 kwacha every month. Papene panshi hapa twalelipira 200 kwacha. Songa tatulipire 200 kwacha kulonga katundu kuya mchitu cha kungani.
Pano pene ngakumana 19 hours mwachirwa tushitia kwa mchungulo abalumendo balaisa na mapanga. Na bena balaisa na maka yabo yere kwe bachifile fetu arafiro kusenda. Ero tapali wala mwina mapanga bali kwesa pamsebo. So life yadi yakosa. Traki yaisa finele patralaisa mapoteto bale fire kubalipira bakada.
Makada benze bantu bovuta. Makada hapa nalibe mtendere. Makada nalibe kuti abani bamai abani batate. Kunalibe bali kutukwana. Kada sunga mufunse funzo utakuyanke bwino. Kwake kwenze kunyoza. Kada nze muntu wovuta. Ukapesa kada tese kuyoba utapita chinyama cha msango koma ni muntu. Koma ni muntu muzatu. Koma ni mwana uzibalira mweka. Bati mawe amena chuka mukano mwa kada. Sunga ifikise wedi sunga kambi. Tezali kuyopa. Olonga titita nchika sopa Soweto pamene venze uchitika sivenze vabwino iyayi. Pakabwera kama titipaseni ndarama. Ulibe katundu bamanga make sure baenda navu. Paka ukaombole katundu.
Amakada yanatushupa kuyambira PF wepo ili hapa twalechujunganya takuru kwikara bwino. Tuli bakuru panonga twaisa twacherwa ngani Saturday so bapinga takuri ukutantika. Wacherwa kuiso kufuma kungana bare kusenda kukamgodi ari amukukulisha 50 kwacha. Na ucherwa kuisa market. Bare sho tuma kadi nefidindo. Mulodi umusata domu bare pitana macheni. Nemipeni tatwa imona pokukura kwesu kuyambira muri kaunda umuntu kufunye na ifisomula bare ikata kumukaka. Nomba ifefe twaremo na mulodi awe kuteko ubwari povu ubwashu ubwari na maramulo wanu kubantu.
Cadres took over bus stations and markets, terrorizing ordinary citizens.
This place, it's called Kamgod. It used to be called Kamgod. On that time, of the regime of PF, it used to be Kamgod. And then this place, it was a no-go area for someone who used to be called Kangombe. Somewhere hapa penzeli kapompi hapa, nani kazika hapa kapompi hapa. Tani kazika baba baniponyera mu ngodi. Cities apaja nonfaka na mbuti. Pinto nitayira ku blue water. So this place, it wasn't a good place, to be honest, for Zambians.
Umuntu ngapita muno nafwalecha akashika nangu tapalembelwe UPND nishiwe wacheneka nangu nimfayobe. Chibipisha nga waisa nafwala nechilembelwe UPND nishiwe chapwa. Nangu ngabakumfa walanda pufe pali UPND. Ngabakumfira okoruse kukwe bati watu wakupela 100 meters muno mu intercity nga waisa wamoneka nimfayobe. If you're not to sit twice,
There's a place called Baghdad.
It was back then, like the place used to be there back then. Like when you're exiting from the gate where there's a Ratza vehicle there on your left, there was like a place. I think it's still there. I think it has been demolished. There was a place there. Yeah, it was a very bad place. Like the name itself. Yeah, you could cry. When they take you there, you know that it wasn't like you are an operator, you are what. You appreciate, you'll be beaten for good.
This unchecked hooliganism played a significant role in the Patriotic Front losing the last elections.
I wanted to see that PF is removed. I'm not ashamed to say that.
Yeah.
I said it in opposition. Now they are saying you want to remove government. So why are we existing? That's why I don't care about the opposition.
Yeah.
I know their agenda is to remove us.
Yeah.
They should not even pretend that they don't want to remove us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we are working hard to serve the people so that they'll think twice. When somebody tells them, vote them out, they will have to think of what we have done. Because that's where the competition is.
Yes.
It is in our thinking, it's in the way we work, in the way that we serve our people.
Yeah.
The policies that are in place.
Yeah.
That is it. So that day, we land, and the PF took only one PF coming with the PF Chitenge flying to come right in our midst He was the first one I saw. I don't know what others saw. Somebody coming right to us. And you want to look this way, then the PF is coming. And there are police vehicles. What is happening? And now PF is coming. For some reason, I shouldn't get angry. Sometimes I do. And I can lose thinking. So I am charging right where they are coming. And what could I have done anyway? So it took my mom, I call her mom, my lady mom, the former first lady, to come and just said, let's go, so I
started charging.
I was going towards
following them.
I didn't even see where my friends were going. So I lost myself with anger. That's when she came and said, let's go. And then it's like you wake up and started running to the plane. I thank God because the plane lifted. Because my thinking was not very clear, I was going to hold on to the plane, but I couldn't because as we were getting near the plane, the helicopter took off. So we ran into this house, a teacher's house. That's where we were. When you saw us there, things were cooling a little. Before that, it was tear gas all over. And we were there in that house, not just the two of us, there were quite a number of us.
So it was cadres and the police, because if there was tear gas...
Remember, these cadres have been brought by the ruling people. Right. So to us, they are our enemies. They are coming and they are tear gassing. Tear gassing who? Because now PF is all over also chasing us, and we are, so you don't know who they are tear gassing. To us, to me, it's us they are tear gassing. Yeah. So we hide in this house, and there was a two weeks old baby. The father cried, "Go out, my baby will die." And the boys were, "How can you chase us? This is a government house. We can't allow." But that is what it was. Yeah. It was so tense. So when you see in that video, we were now coming out of the house. The fight had been taken to the road, a little far. Yeah. And from there, we walked to the police station. We saw a lot of things. We stayed there until we left. But what was in my mind is, this is the reason I'm fighting. Yeah. This is there was no moment in my heart to say, Nizafisia. This is the reason.
Because even
we shouldn't allow
the statement, the energy was still now, it was, I think, doubled.
I think I said exactly that. Yes. That this should not be allowed. Yes. I remember my English, I can speak anyhow, but I laugh at it, at the way I said it. My fellow Zambians, something like that. We should not allow this. So to me, that was a push into my agenda, not to withdraw.
The people of Zambia had enough. They wanted change. They wanted safety and order restored. In came the United Party for National Development, the UPND, who rode the wave of public discontent to victory, promising to end cadreism. Since taking office, we've seen a reduction in these disruptive activities. But the problem has not entirely been eradicated. Cadreism is not just about violence and chaos. It's a symptom of deeper issues within our political system. In a low-income country like Zambia, many youths are tempted by easy money and power offered by politicians looking to use them as tools for violence and intimidation. But we, the youths of Zambia, must rise above this. We must reject petty politics and demand a seat at a table with our elected leaders. Democracy must not just be about voting. Democracy is about active participation, about holding leaders accountable and working together to find solutions to our problem. Imagine a political landscape where debates are driven by intellect, by smart solution-based discussions rather than brute force and intimidation. This is the Zambia we must strive for.
Even in meeting, you need to hide. You can't have a meeting in a restaurant, 4 of you, 5 of you, who are the opposition. First of all, either they will close that shop of the owner, the police will follow in, the cadres will come in, they'll close that. In a market, some of us were given distances, will tell you 200 kilometers away from this area. And they mean it, you cannot pass through that. You can't go in those places, we're given those distances. That's why I find that most even of our colleagues, like when you go to Mutendere, one of our colleagues, Reza Madaba, was killed by who? By the people we found at the Mutendere bus station, because who was identified as UPND, who was making a meeting there. At night, grabbed this guy, beat this guy, kill this guy in the name of politics. I think that in our preamble, that is the cadreism we are saying. If you hear a cadre, was associated by violence. But under PF, violence was part of their planning strategy to instill fear. Look, you go to Kangombe, here's an old woman, didn't know anything. He comes from Wapula because of the t-shirt, red t-shirt. Here she's beaten. She didn't know anything, because for her wearing that regalia, to you and me it's a regalia. To her, maybe that's a shirt she has at that particular time to wear. She can wear even a PF t-shirt, she can wear anything. In a rural part, this regalia becomes part of their life. They wear it.
It's clothes.
It's a clothes for them. But here the woman is being beaten, daylight, and everybody is watching. Those surrounding there, they cannot say anything because they're scared of the cadres surrounding there, because they've got pangas. Cadres became more powerful than leaders. Like Rusaka, it was hostile on its own. Charlie, you have a funeral, a PF, a UPN, no matter how close you are, you cannot visit that funeral. You visit, there will be a fight there. You go to Chingwe Leopards Hill, from nowhere, cadres will come, surround your buses, start beating you. Incidents we had when we had the clans Zoro. These are things which I've seen myself. At Memorial Park, cadres come, at fighting, beating the UPND. And you ask yourself, it's for what? In Chingwe, it was many times when you go to there at Central Police, these are reports which are being done every day. So it was bad. Intercity, it was a war zone. You can't pass through intercity. You cannot put a red, just a red thing, you are beaten. A Manchester United, you are beaten. Hungry Lion t-shirt, you are beaten. A ShopRite t-shirt, you are beaten. And that's an extent we want all of us. So, it's had to take now serious people and genuine people to fight this thing to come to an end. And the people kept quiet.
The UPND has made strides in reducing cadreism, but more needs to be done. We need a complete change in mindset, perception, and approach. From grassroots to the national level, we must prioritize governance issues over personal gain. Nothing good can come from cadreism and hooliganism. These practices only serve to divide us and derail our progress. It's time for a new era of politics in Zambia, one where every voice is heard, every citizen feels safe, and where our leaders are held accountable to the highest standard of integrity and service. We have the potential to evolve into a nation of prosperity, justice, and unity. But this can only happen if we change our ways, if we move away from politics of division and fear, and embrace politics of collaboration and progress. So as we conclude today's episode, I want you to reflect on your role in this change. How can you contribute to a better Zambia? And how can we, as a united youth, shape the future of our nation?
Apa tuletotera obuteko tuletotera ba president. Leso waingire muri ba president ewa tukusosha. Bantu tatukwete kada market tuleshitisha free. Ngabayisa ba musongo tulelipira 5 kwacha ku council. Tuletotera ifa fina mtu mwene hapa na tukala Musoweto ngani ababa mayo nabekala almost 35 years. Musoweto ebo twakonkele bonse nokujoyina. But pali nomba tulifree tulipira 5 kwacha kuli council. Elonga bapita ba council mwamwe batamukwete balapita baya. Mailonga machitisha futi mu abapinga. Awe chichena tuletotera obuteko bayisende. Nabuturubula twalipita mu findi ichakosa. Apa tuletotera ba president mwanje. Kwati ife ba maketia turafaisha nenshira yakuya kumwavo kuya mkuba totela nomba kali 30 chisuminyishi. So apa manje tonga ziko mkutu wa president watu wamene banangena pa mpando. Ulamulo wamene banaleta ako mwandini wanati wombola isi wa maketia maka maketias kati ni market muno. Tezona fene vize kushitika tunalibe ufuru. But pali lero a president ametiri nawo apa. Mulungu abadalisa fitile bati wombola mafuto.
And for me, my appeal to the team that is in power today, the president talking about, I don't want cadreism, I don't want violence, it just ends there. We are not seeing now the change in the actions, in the behaviors of our young people in the ruling party. They should draw lessons from the PF that lost power. I was not the youth chairperson, but you see, I reflect today and I'm asking myself, didn't our colleagues who are in power today, haven't they learned anything from the previous government? Remember in my earlier remarks, embrace good things, yes. Abandon the bad things. If the previous government was doing certain things in a bad way, abandon those. If there were things that they were good that they did, adopt them. I think that the problem could be managed better. I'm hoping that out of reflection, when you give a chance to my dear friend Gilbert to appear, one of the things is that he should be able to tell himself what legacy does he leave, because you don't want these incidences we've been hearing.
The message is very clear, and I keep on saying, hey, to my fellow young people, those who fought in the struggle to be where we are today, there's no need for us to use violence. There's no need for us to use bad language to elderly people. There's no need, because it could not help our colleagues by then the PF. So the main lesson, despite condemning PF, but the main lesson which we have learned from our colleague the PF, which we're not supposed to do ourselves if we want to stay in power for a long time. That's why we are avoiding all these bad activities. That's why I'm appealing also to the young people in UPN, a youth wing all over us, that let's do away with bad activities.
Let's put politics aside and focus on what truly matters. Building a Zambia we can all be proud of. Thank you for joining me today. Stay tuned for the next episode where we delve into another pressing issue concerning our great nation. Until then, let us work together to build a brighter future.